Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back as always to another video on the channel. It's Ansonex, and today we're going to be going over all the leaks I reported on in Deadlock Weekly during the lead up to Deadlock's most recent update and absolute facelift to see what we got right, what we got wrong, and who not to trust. The leaks we talk about today, I'll put the card of the video I originally mentioned them on screen so you can go back and take a look for yourself if you want, and we're going to do them a little bit rapid fire because you can see what time this video is uploaded, and I do got to go back to work at some point. And so we'll dive right into what we got right. Number one, the hideout. I was pumped about this. We talked all about the hideout recently. Its playable main menu aspects, and even down to how there was going to be a movie room to watch other matches. Then, guys, we also talked about map changes, and specifically how yellow and green were going to be differentiated from one another significantly. We even talked about how yellow might become a port one day a few months ago, but I really didn't go too deep in there, so I can't take too much credit for that. And also, I'm not taking literal. It's not like I leaked this stuff out. It's not like I was the first person to say it, but ultimately, you know, when I talk about this stuff on Deadlock Weekly, I do kind of attach my name to it in one way or another. I only tell you stuff that I think is going to wind up in the game. Even the stuff that I'm like, hey, we don't know about this, I still ultimately think that it's real. And, you know, so I'm certainly not taking credit like I leaked it, but, you know, we got to take a little victory lap. You know, the stuff that we talked about in the videos wound up in the game that we're playing today. So it's cool to put a thumbs up on that. And honestly, the reason that I didn't get too deep into yellow becoming a port was because that came hand in hand with those quote-unquote swimming animations that were really bebop hook animations. So I was a little bit unsure about that whole yellow being a port, but it's really cool that it wound up being that way because, yeah, obviously it's a really, really big step up. So we knew that green and yellow were getting big facelifts. We knew it was very possible that yellow was becoming a port, and we talked about that in the major update video with the unused boat model, but we ultimately were a little bit shaky on yellow being a port, but we're certain that there was going to be a big facelift to yellow and green. And then we damn near nailed the 6 new heroes, Billy, Doorman, Drifter, Mina, Paige, and Victor. And I will say, I did nail the 2 guesses on Billy and Paige. I do think it's funny that we were all in the comments talking about how his name might be Traveler or his name might be Threshold or something, and then they just named him the Doorman. Like, I think that's actually, I laughed so hard when I saw his name was just the Doorman. Then, guys, we also said that Boho would not be in the upcoming update, as supposedly she just still has work to be done. She's not ready quite yet, and that info came from the Reddit leaker in the last week that we talked about. We also knew all about a new vertically oriented hero select screen, and that was incoming with the large hero portrait on the right. Shout out to all the people that made the mods that became obsolete in a week for that. You guys have some real dedication. Then, guys, we also knew about new models incoming for Ivy, and this one goes a little bit in both categories because she did get a new model, but it's not the one that we were talking about leading up to it. Geist also got a new model, same one as the portrait. Much more classy woman here than older lady, kind of. Maybe she looks a little bit too young, though, because isn't she supposed to be an older lady? Like, she looks like she could be damn near my age at that point. And then we knew all about Pocket's coming look, and it looks like Valve did wind up tweaking their hair a little bit, but their overall look is almost bar for bar. Vindicta, her look was bar for bar from the leaks, just absolutely fantastic, a really ghoulish look, and yeah, the leaks were spot on there. Then Wraith got a much more refined model, even though there aren't major changes. I do obviously love this upgrade, and we talked about this going back to the first leak week, oh many moons ago. Then we talked all about the Lash model as well. And this one, I will say, guys, it did kind of grow on me. I'm not 100% sure I like it more than the prior version, but I've gotten over the curly mustache in consideration of how absolutely ripped he is. So, cool. Cool by me. And then we also knew that going up, when you look up at the portraits at the top of the screen of the characters in-game, that they would be getting a new soul counter UI, and those came from the Victor ult leak back when we just knew him as Frank. I'm going to be calling him Frank for a long time, by the way, guys, but we still haven't seen his ult actually in action to verify if the ult part of that is going to be true, because he actually isn't out yet. And then, guys, probably a section that probably more people are excited to get into, what we got wrong, or I'll say just what I got wrong this time. No Priest. I was really confident, guys, that Priest was going to be in this update, and honestly, I thought I would have games on him by now, because I didn't think they were going to stagger the hero releases like this. Completely got that one wrong. Another one I got completely wrong, Vindicta Feet, and not only did I get this one completely wrong, I fell for it. The image that I talked about is almost an entirely fake image. It's a Photoshop alteration. I try my absolute best, guys, to only put things that pass my smell test in the videos, and I mean, I only do put things that pass the smell test in the video, but I'm human. I messed up this one, so apologies there, guys. And then here's the other half of the Ivy model, is that Ivy did not get the plushie seller 9000 model that I thought we were going to get, but the devs clearly listened to community feedback here. People did not like that very cutesy Ivy. And then the viscous model, when this one originally leaked back a month or so ago, I thought this was going to be a skin, and then when it popped up again in the most recent hero leaks, it was one of the main portraits, and so I was convinced that Goo Man was going to be changing in this patch, but not yet. Wrong again. Maybe it's on the horizon, but not yet. I was wrong. I said it was coming. And then this one is a little bit shaky, guys. I kind of didn't. The open beta, I'm not going to say I'm entirely wrong, because I never came close to actually committing to saying that this update was going to be the open beta, but I certainly did talk about it quite a bit. That possibility of it coming with this update, and we'll talk more about it this Sunday on Deadlock Weekly, but Yoshi did confirm that the open beta is kind of still up in the air on when exactly that's even going to be. Then, guys, there were a few things that were complete surprises to even people who are really tapped in on the leaks, and a lot of the map glow-up specifics are a surprise. You know, we talked about yellow and green. Those things were going to be huge, and we knew about them, but I didn't realize there were going to be new lighting, shaders, like the little Walter Fairfax statue area now. I really like what they've done around the walkers. I'm thinking of the one where there's the farm camp right next to it on the left side of the map. I really like what they did over with that corridor that kind of gives you a little bit of vertical advantage on the walker. We didn't know about that stuff. And so a lot of those little specifics slip through the cracks. The summoning circles, right? That's another thing that I'm thinking of that appear around the jungle camp. And then a ton of new animations for all types of heroes, whether it's Lash, Seven, Haze. There's all types of new animations for all types of heroes. Not literally everything, but there are so many. And then the Hero Staggered release. I totally thought they were just going to drop all six of them on us at once. And it's got pros and cons, but I thought they would drop them all on us at once, and I did not think they were going to do this. I think it caught a lot of people by surprise. Then the new menu and theme music. How fantastic is that? And by menu, I mean the new intro screen where it just says Deadlock, the Deadlock logo before you click into the hideout. Had no clue about that. Think it's fantastic, though. And then, guys, there were a ton of other small things, whether it's the theme text for heroes where Dynamo has the little square root in chalk written around his name, or that Vent's got new textures. A lot of little things like that just slip through the cracks because this update is so massive. Or, that just never made it out into the leakosphere in the first place. So there are a few things that are still in development here, guys, or could have changed. But I ultimately do think that these are accurate leaks. And that starts with the Hero Labs characters where, we just know that these guys are getting shelled for now. They're incoming, hopefully, maybe, but, they're on the back burner. So we'll see. But there was certainly a time where we thought that these were going to be some of the heroes in this update a few months ago. And then Skyrunner and Swan, neither of them were in this update either, but both of them did appear in that original Deathy leak back at the beginning, or in the spring even now. Not sure. Those guys may have gotten scrapped. They may still be incoming, but they're in the Aether for now. We don't know what happened with them. Then Viper's model as well. If you recall, there is a new Viper model in development, but that one did not make it into this update as well. Don't know where that one is quite in development, but we know that it didn't make it into this big major patch. And then the Page and Boho leaks from last week, ultimately, it looks like they're probably going to wind up being true because the Lash leak wound up being true from the same source, but we don't know if the leaks from Reddit last week will wind up being true until we get Page, probably in the next few days here, into the game, and Boho isn't incoming in this upcoming update, which, again, we did talk about that, but we don't know about her abilities or where she'll wind up being. She's kind of in a similar camp of Swan and Skyrunner, except we've actually seen some screenshots, pseudo screenshots of her abilities. And then, guys, that's all I got for you this time. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and that if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to subscribe. Every Sunday at 6 p.m. here, if you don't know, we do a show where we're just rounding up all the important stuff from the week of Deadlock, whether there's esports tournaments that are going on, whether there's big leaks like we talked about here, or just general news. And so if you want to see that, be sure to subscribe. And also, I've started live streaming pretty consistently on Twitch and YouTube. So if that's your thing, be sure to check me out. I'm usually on, nighttime, Eastern Standard Time after work. And so, guys, thank you so much to all the members. Thank you so much for all you guys watching. And I hope you are enjoying this patch as much as I am. We'll talk about it more this weekend, obviously. But, oh, God, I've played more Deadlock than I've slept this past week. This is awesome. Have a good one, guys. Peace.